secondly, there's what I called, besides the intelligibility, secondly, credibility. Now, by credibility is the area of what you probably would usually call apologetics. Credibility is this area. It's the area of the defeaters. A defeater is a belief, that if true, makes belief B impossible, so I don't even have to look at it. Are you following me? In the older Christianized Western culture, there really weren't many defeaters around. The average person believed the Bible. The average person believed in the afterlife and so on. But now we live in a situation in which our culture has a set of common sense beliefs. There can't just be one true religion. Everybody has got to be able to decide right and wrong for themselves, you see. And so forth. There are these givens. There's these things that people just say. They are common sense beliefs, and because they are believed, then Christianity can't be true. And if you don't ever deal in your preaching, if you don't ever deal regularly with these defeater beliefs in your routine ministry, you'll be giving the gospel, and people's eyes will just glaze over. Even they won't exactly know why nothing you're saying makes any sense. And what you have to, I believe in what's called presuppositional apologetics at this stage. And what presuppositional apologetics is essentially trying to show people that their belief system isn't true on their own terms, not on your terms, but on their own terms. Let me give you one quick example because it will also help you with plausibility. I told you this is a lecture, and I'm trying to be as practical as I possibly can be. What do you do with people who say, all religions are equally valid? There can't just be one true religion. All religions are equally valid. Every religion has got its own part of the truth, but nobody can see the whole truth. What do you do with that? Leslie Newbigin gave me a great weapon years ago, apologetics. He says, let me tell you the story, because he was a missionary in India. He heard this story all the time. Let me tell you the story about the blind men and the elephant. 6 blind men come upon an elephant, and every one of them tries to get a hold of the elephant to describe it. And one gets a hold of the tail and says the elephant is long and wiggly. Another one gets a hold of the side and says no, it's the elephant is very big and flat. Another one gets a hold of the leg and says no, it's short and round and stiff. And then they have this argument about what the elephant is. And the way the illustration goes is everyone sees part of the elephant, or actually grasps part of the elephant because they can't see the whole elephant. So everyone is right and everyone is wrong. Every one of them grasps part of the elephant, but because they try to say they grasp the whole elephant, that's the reason why they are arguing. And religions are the same way, goes the illustration. All religions have part of the truth. No religion can say they have all the truth. Therefore, there can be no one true religion. And Leslie Newbigin one day realized something, I guess, when he was hearing this. And he realized you could only tell this story about the blind men and the elephant, and you could only know the blind men could only grasp part of the elephant if you could see the whole elephant. There's no way you could know the blind men only see part of the elephant unless you can see the whole elephant. And he said there's no way that you could say all religions have part of the truth and no religion has all the truth unless you see all the truth, unless you claim to have the kind of superior knowledge that you say all those religions don't have. Unless you claim the kind of superior knowledge that you say no one has the right to claim. Now, that, believe it or not, is a way of saying you say, in the interest of being inclusive, something very exclusive. You're saying you have a spiritual take on ultimate reality, and it is right and I'm wrong, and therefore you're being as exclusive as I am. The difference is, as a Christian, I believe I'm exclusive. I believe Christ is the exclusive truth. You're being just as exclusive as I am, and yet you are denying your own principle. You're being inconsistent. Now, what have I just done? What have I done? I didn't use evidential apologetics. I didn't use rational apologetics. I used presuppositional apologetics. And actually, unless you're constantly doing that, unless you're constantly seeding what you say to people by listening to those defeaters and going after those defeaters and showing that the defeaters don't work on their own terms. I know that sounds... You say, that's awfully intellectual. Well, I mean, I know I'm in New York, and I know I'm working with people, but I also know that at some level now, even in my little town of Hopewell, Virginia, where I had my church in the 70s and 80s, evangelism explosion doesn't work. And the reason it doesn't work when you go through God, man, Christ, faith is because they also have these defeater beliefs in their head. And what you say doesn't sound credible to them. And if you just keep going through them and you don't learn ways of deconstructing the defeater beliefs in the general way in which you minister, you can yell all you want, and you can go through your presentations all you want, but it's going to fall on deaf ears. That's credibility.